What's good, everybody? It's your boy Wilder42K, and we are back with our NFL Battle Royale series. I think you guys really enjoyed episode 1. You guys were asking me when I was going to come out with episode 2 or part 2. I think we're going to be able to finish most of this in this episode. That's going to be our goal, is to finish this entire series of this one just in 2 parts, and then we'll do another one in another 2 parts. And I kind of want to stagger them a little bit. I don't want to pack. I don't want an hour-long video. I want to keep them in like 10 to 20-minute increments. I think you guys really enjoy it. I think you guys like that content better. It builds a little bit of anticipation. But I want to know what you guys think so far. If you did enjoy the last video, please let me know. And please let me know after this video, after you watch it, in the comments below if your team ended up winning and they took over the entire United States. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. If you do enjoy it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because we're going to keep these series coming for you, ladies and gents. Thank you, and I will see y'all in the next one. All right, everybody. So we cleaned up our picture here. We cleaned it up a good amount. So my coloring skills were not great, but I figured out that I could just fill in these states as they are. So that's pretty dope. We ended up doing that and reorganizing everything. So it looks a little bit cleaner to go through the conglomerate rest of this video. And let's find out who our first matchup is going to be. And our first matchup is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers defending and taking on another conquest. Let's see which direction. So this could go a lot of ways because they have 2 different logos. So let's see which way it'll go. They're going northeast. Let's see who that's going to be. So directly northeast, I guess we'd have to go from this right logo here. And northeast to me, from dead center, would be the Giants. So the Giants could take over a pretty large portion here. Let's get right into the game. Again, you guys know how this works. Whatever the direction arrow faces, the team that is attacking has to go to the away team and attack on that soil. So it'll be Steelers at Giants, and if it goes to an open territory, then that team automatically gets that free open territory. But for now, it's Steelers versus Giants in our first matchup of part 2. And that's it. In a big matchup for the Steelers, they end up expanding their territory into New York, taking over the Giants. They already have the Bills territory, and now they have the Giants territory with only one other New York team left standing, Kenny Pickett, with 4 touchdowns. The Steelers come away with a huge win to expand their territory even farther northeast and encapsulate Ohio with a 34-17 win. So it's sad to see, but we got to take the Giants off here. We're going to have to color in a little bit here. This is going to be a little bit tougher because of the lines here in New York. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and make this as easy as possible on us. We're going to color these guys in just a little bit here and make it that nice, beautiful Steeler yellow. And bam. The Steelers are now owning half of New York State, or I guess 2/3 in this instance. But let's see if their reign continues. I mean, they're bound to fall at one point, right? Anyways, let's get into the next matchup. And here's our next spin for our next matchup. Just skipping by, and it's the Jets. So it's almost a given they're going to have to face the Steelers, but there is a chance. There is New England, and there is a team to their southeast or southwest. And they do have to face the Steelers, I think. Let's double check. So it's heading in this direction. Let's see here. They do have to face the Steelers. The Steelers could totally encapsulate New York State at this point. And with that, the Steelers take over all of New York State. They own the entire state. They become the New York Steelers, if you will, and they look to move even farther northeast and continue their juncture of conquering the United States with a big win over the New York Jets. TJ Watt with a big game with a 24-14 W. And there you have it. The Steelers now own all of New York and all of Pennsylvania, as well as Michigan, Illinois, as well. Or sorry, Indiana, not Illinois. Excuse me, I misspoke there. But, I mean, the Steelers are off to a pretty good start here. Through our first 2 matchups, we're not looking too bad. We're counting down the teams, just a few more left. Let's see who can continue on. And here comes our next attacking team. It's going to be the Cowboys are finally going to look to come out of Texas. And it could go pretty much anywhere. I guess it could be New Orleans, which it looks like it just might be. It's heading northeast just slightly. And northeast just slightly, I think from the center of the logo in that direction, is going to be the Chiefs. So the Chiefs could easily take over Dallas here and the rest of the state of Texas, which would be huge for them. So we're going to go ahead and see that matchup in Kansas City. And with that, and what could be a Super Bowl matchup this year, the Chiefs go down in their home territory. Dallas expands up into Kansas City, and they're going to own now 3 full states. The Cowboys are on a roll. Can they maintain it and take over the rest of the country? And the Cowboys look to expand even farther. We now have an updated map here. The Cowboys own 3 full states, one of the largest teams now. I think the only 2 that would be bigger would be San Fran and maybe Pittsburgh, just in terms of sheer size. San Fran's definitely bigger than the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys are now the second biggest team on the map. Let's see who our next matchup is going to be this time. And the Titans are seeing their first action. They're going to make their first move. That's insane. We haven't seen the Titans play at all yet, so that's kind of interesting. We're obviously going to see every team get a little bit of action here, but the Tennessee Titans look to make their first move as an attacking team. Let's see the direction they're going to run in here. And it looks like it's going to be directly due northeast, I would say. And northeast, I'm going to say, is a free state of Kentucky. An easy choice for them. They'll take that free land all day long. And now Tennessee holds 2 full states with only a couple left in the eastern side of the United States. There's not a lot of free territories left. So they're going to have to fight someone eventually. All of these teams are going to have to duke it out on the East Coast. And the Steelers are getting another matchup? Yes, they are. The Steelers are looking to expand even further. Or will they go down as the mighty empire they are? Let's see which direction. There is New Jersey below them, but it's going to be tough for them to get them. They have to go directly due south from the middle of their logo. They're going to be facing the Baltimore Ravens. It could be Baltimore or it could be Tennessee, but we're going to take on the Ravens. It's going to be a fun divisional matchup for them. It's going to be a tough win for them. Let's see if they can do it. The Steelers' reign continues. They take down divisional rival and expand in the Northeast. Maryland goes down. Baltimore Ravens lose 26-13, and the Steelers continue to embark on their conquering of the United States. Now New England's only way out is going to be through the Steelers, of course, but can they shut down the empire of what is closing off the entire Northeast? And the Steelers now hold Detroit, Michigan. They hold Indiana, New York, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Is anyone going to be able to stop them? Let's find out. Broncos seeing their first action. They are not adjacent to any team, I believe, so it's going to be tough to see if they're going to be in a matchup. The only thing I think they could face would be the Cardinals, but it looks like they're going to expand into the Northeast. We keep getting a lot of Northeast, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're going to go ahead and move them up into the next state. So now they own 2 states. They're looking mighty fine over here. The Broncos, they have a chance. They could take over a lot of this area and put themselves in a tricky situation, but for now, they are still safe. Our next spin will bring us to what destination? The Browns. So they're going to have to face a team. They don't have a choice. Let's see which direction they're going to be attacking. And they're going southeast. They're going to be going southeast. Directly through southeast is the Bengals. So the Battle of Ohio takes place right now. And in a scoring shootout in the Battle of the Ohio, the Browns go down, and Cincinnati comes away with a big W, 42-34. Joe Burrow moves on and takes over the entire state of Ohio, and we go on to the next matchup. Moving on to the next spin to see who's going to be attacking next. The Jaguars look to move out of Florida and Alabama. Let's see which direction they're going to be attacking this time. They are going northeast, which I believe is going to be the Falcons. It's going to have to be the Falcons. They have to push through the Falcons to get to the Panthers. Let's see how this matchup ends up for the Falcons or the Jaguars. Florida man goes down. The Jaguars lose huge to the Falcons. A big loss, 34-6, and the Falcons take over Alabama and Florida with this home defense. A big victory for Marcus Mariota, but a bigger loss for Trevor Lawrence. Will it be the Steelers? It does go to the Steelers. Will they be finally taking on the New England Patriots, or will they head to New Jersey? Let's find out. They head due west. This is going to be a fun one. So we could either take it to Green Bay or we could take it to the Bengals. I think, realistically, I think we have to take it to Green Bay because they're 2 logos. This one technically doesn't hit the Bengals, whereas this one definitely hits Green Bay. I think we have to take on Green Bay. We're heading to Wisconsin to take on the Packers. And the Pittsburgh reign continues. They take down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in an OT game, 27-20. Kenny Pickett is single-handedly leading the Pittsburgh Steelers to the ultimate conquest. Will they be able to continue their going steam ahead? Will they be able to do it? Let's find out. And here's an updated look. The Steelers, I would say, it's kind of hard to tell because of how big the state San Francisco owns, but the Steelers currently own, I would say, obviously the most states, but I would say the largest the largest land mass on the contiguous right now. So we'll find out. I mean, right now, I would say the Steelers are probably the favorite to win, but they're going to have some tough defenses to go through. And with this spin, we look to find our next team. The Commanders getting their first action. They will. So there is a free state open to their left. They could easily get one, but they don't. They have to head northeast, which should be none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to have to defend their home territory for the first time. The Steelers are actually getting attacked for the first time in their franchise history here. In a low-scoring affair. Let's see what the score is. It's 23-20. The Steelers move on. It was a low scoring. It was only 7-3 at the end of the first half. Another OT stunner for the Steelers, getting another OT field goal with just 43 seconds left. I'm just as shocked as you are that this team keeps making the runs that it's making. The Commanders are gone. We're slimming down the teams quite swiftly here. The Saints looking to make their first action. Let's see who they're going to end up facing off against. There are a couple open states, I believe, around them, or at least one. They have to head due north, though, which is going to be tough. They're going to have to take on the Cowboys in enemy territory. And the Cowboys hold their own turf, scoring a last-second field goal in regulation, winning the game against the attacking Saints 30-27. The Cowboys go on to take Louisiana. Down go the Saints means the next team has to be spun for. The Patriots, the only team they can face. They have to go against the Steelers, so you know what that means. The Steelers have to defend the largest landmass in the United States so far. The Steelers are going to have to defend their home field. Can they do it? Can they maintain their momentum and take over the entire Northeast minus New Jersey? The Steelers continue their stellar Cinderella run with another win over the New England Patriots to take over the entire northeast portion of the country with a 34-13 win. And here's another look at our updated map. The Steelers continue to pluck their way through in their Cinderella run. We haven't seen anything from the Seahawks yet, or pretty much anything from the western half other than one Broncos game. And then obviously the Dallas Cowboys have expanded a little bit, but not really much from the western half of the country. Can we change that this game? With just 10 teams left, it's up for anybody's grabs. There are 3 large teams, and it might be the Falcons. The Falcons do get another game, and what direction do they have to head to attack their next team? They're heading southwest, which doesn't really work for them. With just a few states left up for grabs on the eastern portion, it's going to be a battle on the East Coast, but there are a ton of states open on the West Coast, so we'll see what's going to happen here soon. Again, I think Seattle has to make a push. If they're going to stand a chance, we have to get them into play. Only 10 teams left. It's still up in the air. It's going to be the Falcons again, so they're going to have to play somebody here. Let's see what direction they're going to be attacking. Again, another Southwest. It's the Cowboys. It has to be the Cowboys. There's no other team they can take over here. So we're heading to Dallas once more. This time it's with the Falcons. And the expected outcome happened. Dallas beats up on the Falcons and takes over the southeast portion of the states. They take over 4 more states as Dallas looks to conquer the United States. Down goes the Falcons, and that brings us to 9. The Titans, or will we get the Seahawks? It is the Titans. They could get West Virginia here, I believe, but it's all still up in the air. Let's see the direction. It would have to be a perfect placed arrow to get West Virginia, and it's not. They have to head northwest, which is going to be, let's see, none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers directly through. Let me make sure I line that up correctly. Let's see. We definitely do. It's definitely got to be the Steelers. Can the Steelers hold on once more? And down go the Titans. Mike Vrabel is shaking his head. The Steelers' Cinderella story goes on to the next chapter. A 28-20 win in Pittsburgh, and they grow ever so stronger. All right, guys, we reorganized here a little bit more so the Steelers continue their dominance, and we have the Cowboys down here. The Southeast really only protected by the Panthers. But the Steelers own almost all of the northeastern portion, just looking for Ohio, West Virginia, and New Jersey, as well as I believe that's Connecticut. Don't hold me to that. Could be Delaware. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, let's run into the next game here. Seahawks are finally getting their first action. Well, you know what that means. They have to go through the 49ers in order to move on. As you can see here, they're trapped up here in their little top left, Washington State. We will take on the 49ers in San Francisco. And just like in the Super Wildcard weekend, the Seahawks go down, and now the San Francisco 49ers own the entire western portion of the United States. Purdy leads the Seahawks to another downfall, just like in real life. It did take a while to see the Seahawks' first battle, but they go down quick. We're moving on to the Steelers. They're going to be attacking even more, looking to expand their dynasty. In which direction will they attack? It's going to be due east. This is going to be kind of a tough one. They don't really have anybody, so it's going to have to be, I mean, theoretically, yeah, it has to be the Bengals. There's no other way. I mean, that's the closest team to due east from their logo. So we're going to go ahead and take on the Bengals in Cincinnati. It's going to be a tough one for the Steelers. In a stunner, the Steelers' run ends in one of the lowest scoring games we've seen in the entire series so far. The Bengals win 13-10 over Kenny Pickett. A huge game for this rivalry, and Joe Burrow takes over the entire northeast half from Pittsburgh. And with that, just 6 teams remain. It's going to be the Cardinals finally making their first move as well in this episode. Let's see. They can pretty much go in a lot of directions. There are a couple different states that are open, but that's too bad because they're going to have to face the big bag 49ers to take over the West, or they're going to be eliminated from this matchup. It was almost a shocker in San Fran. The Cardinals came back, tied it to force overtime. The Cardinals scored a touchdown in their first drive. The San Francisco 49ers drove down, scored another touchdown, got the ball back, and got the field goal. The 49ers move on and beat the Cardinals this time. Just 5 teams remain, and it comes down to a couple more battles. It's going to be the Broncos looking to make another move. Again, they don't have a lot of surrounding city, so it all comes down to which direction, and it looks like they're going northwest, and they do get another free state. They're staying alive another round. They conquer 2 open territories, and it's going to be good for them. They only have so many more of these opportunities left. After a round staying alive for the Broncos, can they move on? It looks like the Panthers are also getting their first matchup this late in the game, the latest turn we've seen so far. All the other teams have made an attack, but it's going to be the Panthers making their first one. There's 2 different teams they could face here. It all comes down to the arrow, and it looks like it's going to be the Cowboys. It's going to be a big matchup for Carolina. If they can win this, they stand a good chance. They'll end up making it to the Final Four. The Panthers shock Dallas. They win a big game, taking over all of the southern portion of the United States. This is a crazy shocker here, 42-35. The Panthers in their first move, looking to be a late bloomer in this conquest. And here's another updated look. With the Cowboys eliminated, you have the Panthers, Bengals, Broncos, and 49ers left. The Broncos having the least amount of landmass. They still could shock the world. They can pretty much go in any direction from wherever the world spins them. Other than probably due east, it's going to be tough because they're just going to miss the Panthers. But they can go in any direction off of a spin. Let's see who's going to face who. It looks like it's dead even, but it says it's the 49ers. Let's see which direction. They have to head due east, but it depends on where. It's going to go southeast. It's going to be a tough one. Directly from their logo, they're going to pick up an extra square here. They're picking up an extra state. On to the next spin. And this time, it's the Bengals, it looks like. The Bengals have to face somebody. They're pretty much surrounded. They go southeast, almost due south, and you know what that means. It could be the end of the Panthers or the Bengals here. Let's see who's going to take over the entire East Coast. And the Panthers' Cinderella story run, only having 2 turns in the game, goes down. The Bengals win 31-21, and it's the final 3 are the Bengals, the Broncos, and the 49ers. And we're down to the final 3. It all comes down to these last few turns. It should only be 2 turns left. The 49ers are going to be moving east, Let's see how far east, see if they get a free state or not. It looks like they're going northwest. I'll give them Montana. They're going to have to take it. But now the Broncos are running out of time. Their life is on the line here, and then it's going to be tough not to see them face the Broncos here. There's only really one direction they can go, and they might have just got it. It's going southwest. Where's the center of their logo? Southwest to their logo. It's going to be close. I'm gonna reiterate this direction here. Let's see. It's going to be tough. I'm going to have to say it's going to be the Broncos here. It's got to be the Broncos. It's going to have to be. It's Broncos versus 49ers in Denver. And the Broncos cannot pull off the upset. The easy favorite from the start has been the 49ers, and they find themselves in the finals against the Bengals. A late bloomer versus the early front runner. The 49ers are looking to win the chip and win the United States. Now, in most instances, people would just say, hey, Wilder 42K, why don't you just, face the last two teams off? Well, I don't think that's rightfully fair, being that there's so many open states here. There's obviously some barrier. And how do you decide who has home field advantage here without saying, hey, the Bengals are going to attack San Fran or so on and so forth? So I'm going to run through the last few turns, see who's going to attack, run the directional, see who can get the most states, and then go from there. It's the Bengals attacking once again. Win a 50-50 shot. Let's see which direction. They do head northwest. Northwest is none other than the San Francisco 49ers from their location. It's going to be a tough battle. They're heading into enemy territory, but let's check the Super Bowl for the United States of America. And there you have it. The early frontrunners took it all the way. The 49ers win the Super Bowl, and they win the United States. They conquered everybody. They beat every other team. I would say this team probably attacked the most territories, conquered the most open territories and other teams, and right from the start, Purdy leads the 49ers to a 28-14 victory in the Super Bowl to beat the Bengals and take over the United States. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to smash that like button and hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell because I'm going to keep this type of content coming. And please let me know in the comments below who you thought was going to win and if your team made it and where they finished. If you're a 49ers fan, congratulations. You guys won the first ever NFL Battle Royale on Wilder42K's channel. I appreciate all y'all's support, and thank you so much for the continued support over the next few videos. Thanks, everybody. Much love, and I will see y'all in the next one.